In this video, we're going to talk about how important it is, not maybe how important, but some strategy around how to create good employee relations from employee to the business.
You play to win the game. Hello?
One of the most important things you can do for your business is actually care about your people, right? So in this video, we're going to talk about employee relations. And really what I guess what I mean by this is creating goodwill, right? From employee to business, right? And probably business to employee, but right, the business always has to give to the employee, right? That's just the way this thing works, right? Sometimes employees overstep their bounds. Sometimes employees attempt to take advantage of this, right? I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about the business needs to, right, give things to the employees that say, hey, I care about you, right? So there's this thing called the love bank, right? We're about to get a little bit cheesy, a little bit psychotherapy, a little bit. Bear with me, and yes, it's going to be warm and fuzzy, and it's going to be soft, right? But I was going through marriage counseling, and they were talking to us about this love bank, right? Our marriage counselors were saying the love bank, right? Drake, we've talked about the love bank, right? John, our operations manager, we've talked about the love bank, right? So the love bank is this thing where, guess what, guys? Your business, right? You're the owner, you're the manager, needs to make deposits, right, into the employee's, right, bank account, right? And it's their love bank, right? I know this is cheesy, just bear with me, right? Because people just function in that way where, right, they're almost always going to say, right, what have you done for me, right? And if you've done something for me, I'll give something back, right? And the business, right? So that's the way people function. The business, right, needs to function the complete opposite, right? The business needs to say, you don't have to do anything for me, and I'm just going to keep doing for you, right? Like I said, I know your immediate thought is, well, to take advantage of me, right? Well, then let them take advantage of you, right? And you can hammer that out later, but there's going to be all sorts of people who don't take advantage of you, so get over that, right? But you need to make as many deposits, the business needs to make as many deposits into the employee love bank as humanly possible, right? Because one day you're going to need that employee to really do something, right? And it's going to be very, very, very difficult for the employee to say no, right? If you've just deposited, right? Like, here's the money, right? Like, here's the money, right? Watch this. So here's, right, business, right? I put a $20 bill in there, right? I put a $10 bill in there. I put another $10 bill in there. A couple days I put like a couple ones in there, right? So now, right, the business is like made a bunch of deposits and there's no more money, right? And the money's all sitting in the love bank over here. The employee love bank is filled, right? And the business is going to come over here and they're going to say, guys, hey, Mr. Employee, I need a little bit out of the love bank, right? And you know what happens? You know what happens when this love bank is filled? What happens, Drake?
They let you have one.
They let you have one, man. They might even give you the 20, right? So now, because why? Because why? They're still sitting on like 23 love tickets, right? Look at, right? Like they got 23 love tickets over here, and they just gave you 20 love tickets back because they're like, I got ample love tickets, right? So now what's the business's job, right? Give that shit back, right? You just have to keep doing this, right? So how do you keep doing that, right? And I know this is a weird analogy, and maybe not the favorite of shop owners. So how do you do this, right? I think one of the biggest things you do is create experience for your guys, right? You can create experience by bringing in Middle Eastern food, right? If nobody's ever had Middle Eastern food, bring in Middle Eastern food, right? One of the things that we do, we have like a popsicle break every single day at like 4 o'clock. We have a bunch of freeze pops in the refrigerator and the freezer, right? We distribute those out, right? That's just a thing into the love bank, right? Right? Everybody's birthday, right? Debbie, our office administrator included, and I can tell you a funny story about that, but everybody on their birthday, we shut the whole shop down, right? We shut it down, and we like literally buy a cake for every single person, and for us, it's like 14, 15 people. We buy a cake, and we sing happy birthday, right? We gather out in the shop, and we literally sing happy birthday, right? And then we say, hey, I appreciate you, love you, happy to have you, right? Like, we really try and turn that into a day where, man, we can pour some love into that person, right? And we make all sorts of deposits into the love bank, right? So like we buy lunch for guys all the time, right? We try and give, especially with technicians, right? We try and find ways to get them extra time off. So in the winter, we do a rotation where 4 times throughout the winter, a technician has a built-in Friday, Saturday off, right? So just built in, they have this extended weekend, right? We're trying to deposit in a love bank, right? We do, so we go to Cedar Point, and for shops that are smaller, I understand budgetary restraints and things like that, right? But we do Cedar Point, right, every year, which is a roller coaster park. We take the whole shop there, right? We spend the whole day there. We have fun, right? We go and race go-karts every year. We send, I've sent all sorts of thank you notes. I take guys out to lunch, right? And not because I'm a big deal. I don't take people out to lunch because I'm a big deal, right? I take people out to lunch because I want to know them. I want to care about them, right? Drake, I talk to you about this all the time, right? Drake, he's a wild animal, right? And he just runs around and he's all business. And I'm like, time out, man. Start your day, or at some point in time in the day, find some time just to go up and bullshit with him, man. How you doing? How was turkey dinner, right? What was I talking to Bernie about today? That guy eats oyster stuffing. I don't even know what the hell that is. That sounds disgusting, right? Did you know he eats oyster stuffing?
I did not.
Right? What did you learn about Burn Dog today?
He eats some disgusting food.
Right? What else did you learn? You work with him every day. What did you learn today?
Something new.
Right? How'd you learn that? By me. What I'm saying is you need to right? You need to keep those. That's how, right? If you want to manage, you want to lead, right? That's how you do it, right? Go and ask him, right? And we had to talk about turkey. Turkey's gross, and he tried to convince me turkey's good, and it's not, guys. We've been to, how many times have you been to Ruth's Chris, Drake?
Like, at least 3 since I've
Right?
started here.
So we put bonus plans in program, right? Or in place, right? We actually just took the shop to Ruth's Chris because most people hadn't been there. And if you don't know what it is, it's this high-end steakhouse. But man, it is amazing, right? So I wanted guys to have experiences. And that's some strategy around employee relations. Some of that's expensive. Some of it's not. Guys, freeze pops, they're not expensive. Pizza lunches, right? Super cheap, right? When it's really warm in the summer and guys are sweating their faces off, right? Get them water, right? Walk in and ask how they're doing, right? In your morning meetings, have a morning meeting, like a little 5-minute powwow, right? Like, how's everybody doing, right? In your weekly meetings, right? Provide praise. Ask, leave an open space at the beginning of the meeting to say, hey guys, in your personal lives, is there anything good going on, right? Like we got guys having kids and things like that. One of the things we did, we recently had a guy who just had a baby, right? And we literally sent him, right? We did a shop video where we all sent him congratulations, right? He literally came into work, whenever it was, a week later, and said he was literally crying in the birthing room, right? Because we had literally like 10 people, 11 people on this video just saying congratulations. And, one of the things we do, and I don't know where this started, but, we do woo, so we'll walk out in the shop and we say woo, and literally each guy in the building, right? Like you just hear this, right? So we did a thing like that. But people are humans, right? Like, and you have to treat them like humans, right? Technicians are they're not robots, right? They're not pieces of machinery, right? You want to get more out of them? Put more into this thing, right? Like, fill this thing, and I don't mean with money, right? That's a bad example. I don't mean with money. I mean with literally love nuggets, what I call them? Love tickets. Keep putting them love tickets into their bank, right? And they will literally keep trying to help you. I promise, right? And from the business standpoint, don't think about being taken advantage of, right? Just think about how many of these can I get to you, right? And don't ever think about how many you can get back, right? And if you give in that way, you'll be rewarded, right? Because people aren't assholes, right? I know we want to say they are, but they're not, right? Especially when they know that you've deposited all sorts of love tickets. So, anyhow, guys, reach out to me. Love to talk shop. Love to catch up. Love to hear what you got going on. Love to try and help. Like I said, I'm not going to hit you up for money. If you guys reach out to me, right, and you say, hey, I got a problem, right, I'm not going to be like, and here's my consulting contract, right? I will genuinely try and help you. I will genuinely build like a spreadsheet. I will generally sit down at my computer and like write some like procedural document that says like, here's the way I think you ought to do this, right? I'll be happy to help. So reach out to me. Thanks, guys.